A few days ago, I was watching a Thai horror movie called The Medium. It was a truly unsettling found footage documentary that focused on shamanism, religious beliefs, faith, and spirituality. Mild spoilers ahead. The film revolves around a girl named Mink who slowly gets possessed by several dark spirits who masquerade as a local goddess. And of course, in classic horror movie fashion, she goes berserk and proceeds to And so while watching the film, I couldn't help but think, why is no one beating the snot out of her? Like, seriously, think about it. Throughout the film, she doesn't really showcase any sort of powers such as telekinesis or super strength. At best, maybe she was a bit stronger than the average human. So why the f does no one stomp this bitch out? Bro, she cooks a puppy alive and eats a baby alive, and I'm supposed to keep her alive? Nah, we're squaring up. However, this does bring up an interesting point. One that I think people just accept in the horror genre. The question is, why does no one ever fight against the demon, serial killer, Asian ghost lady with long hair, or monster ever in horror films? Every goddamn time there's a horror film, the protagonist becomes as able-bodied as a wet bag, unable to run without tripping every 30 seconds. Now, of course, there's an obvious reason for this. The catharsis of horror can only fully take effect when we see people trapped in helpless situations with no way of escape. Hopelessness and impending doom are powerful tools to create said atmosphere of horror. This is usually why you see horror movie characters make some of the worst decisions ever. And when the time comes, they are utterly hopeless against the horrors of the film.
Hey, wanna play hide and clap?
But there is one horror franchise that is built upon the characters, especially the protagonists, fighting against evil. Enter Ash Williams of the Evil Dead franchise, acted by the King of the Chin himself, Bruce Campbell. Ash Williams is probably the only horror movie character that fights against the demons of his world. Oh wait, there's also Father Karras. And Constantine.
I was born of this!
How's my mind crossing over, you half-breed piece of shit?
And of course, Nick Cage. What is interesting to note is that Ash never started off as a deadite-slaying badass. Instead, he started off as a mild-mannered and awkward young man with good intentions. However, a night of horrors unleashed by the Necronomicon leads to him trying to survive as his sister, friends, and girlfriend become possessed and attack him. Of course, the Evil Dead franchise became more comedic over time. However, if you look at the first film and even Evil Dead 2, as well as Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is a great show, you better go watch it now, the character progression is natural. A slight detour. See, I used to have, let's say, unexplainable events occur in my house, and to me before, several times. Whenever these things have happened, of course I felt scared. However, as time went on, something happened. Instead of fear, I felt anger, rage, and the urge to kick something's ass. And it made me realize something. Fear has a limit. It isn't infinite. Enough fear gets created in someone, it will eventually whiplash into an urge to survive and fight. This is, of course, your fight or flight instinct. Now, horror films famously focus on the flight aspect, but the fight aspect? Only films like The Evil Dead have shown this side. This is one of the reasons why I consider Ash Williams as a character to be an integral part of horror cinema. From an unwitting survivor to an ultimate badass with a chainsaw for a hand and a boomstick, he fights through the hordes of deadites that come after him. You know what else is the best part of Ash? His fear never went away. Throughout the films and even the TV show, Ash's fear of deadites and their manipulation is clearly seen in his face. Deep down, despite his wisecracking nature, Ash is a man who has literally been through hell and back. He's had to kill the very people he loves just to survive. That sort of existence can break anyone. And there are moments where he drops the attitude, and you can see the trauma that is really within.
I've doomed humanity. Yeah, well, you know what? Not like I didn't tell him. Pablo, how many times you heard me say this, huh? Why me? Who am I? Nobody. Nobody. Guy from Elk Grove, Michigan. Where the fuck is that? In the middle of jack shit nowhere, that's where. You know what? I got news for you. I didn't ask for this. You think I want this horse shit? Be covered in blood 24/7? Who the fuck would want that? Savior my ass. I'm a goddamn failure.
But what is truly interesting is how he responds to fear. He doesn't cower or run. He revs up his chainsaw and loads a shotgun. And this is why I love Ash Williams. This is why I love The Evil Dead. This aspect of the Evil Dead franchise is what makes it so captivating, and it's clear to be seen in the 2013 reboot, which still carried over this aspect of fighting evil with the character of Mia. And now, with the new Evil Dead Rise poised to hit theaters, I can't wait to see the character of Beth kick ass and slice limbs. My main point here is that sometimes horror can work even with characters that fight back, whether physically or by other means. I'm not saying that horror as is awful in any way. I love horror. I love Hereditary, The Witch, The Exorcist, The Medium, Ju-On, The Ring, The Haunting of Hill House. There is great horror out there for anyone who wants to enjoy. I'm just saying that as a fan of this genre, it would be nice to see active protagonists that display more of that fight instead of just flight. I mean, hell, I love this concept so much that I made a character and a short film based on it. Yes, this is a plug. Yes, I am shameless. But that's all I've got on this topic. I hope you all enjoyed. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.
I'll swallow your soul! I'll swallow your soul! I'll swallow your soul!
Swallow this.
It's over.